Joining us now, Republican Congressman Russ Fulcher of Idaho's 1st District. Welcome back, Congressman. Thanks for being here. Let's talk about the timing of this. I'm just kind of playing off what we just heard there. Why the 1 a.m. meeting? Democrats say it's because Republicans are hiding something. Your response to that?
Yeah, so 1 a.m. happened to be the timeline for the earliest the bill could be heard after the mandatory wait from when it was introduced. So I think that's why there was a 1 a.m. appointment. At the same time, there is a desire by leadership to get this all done and packaged up by Memorial Day. So that's why the timing, and I mean, let's be honest, with our committee work over this last couple of weeks, this is not the only time we've worked through the night. We've done that in multiple committees to try to get this ready so that we can get this by Memorial Day and get it over to the Senate so that hopefully we can get this put into place sooner rather than later.
The reality is it faces more than a tough battle in the Senate, some saying it's dead on arrival in the Senate. So is this all for naught?
Yeah, I don't think so. We definitely have some issues, but this is a big bill. This contains a lot of critical components. The president came, as you mentioned, to the GOP conference yesterday, drove home how critical this was, not just for the economic, but for the social future of the country. So, large projects, big bills, a lot of content doesn't happen easily, and we're experiencing that right now. This process has never been designed to be easy, and when you have good things in the hopper, it's going to take a while to get it done.
The president, Congressman, calls it the largest tax cut in history. Fiscal conservatives, though, say at what cost? What do you like about what's in this bill for your constituents?
Well, the major components, not just for my constituents, but for the country, are maintaining the Tax Cut and Jobs Act, because if we don't do that, that expires the end of the year. You got about a 22% increase in taxes on people. The energy component we all need. The United States has got a tremendous growth demand for energy, and we need to be in front of that, be energy exporters. Of course, all things border, and the president drove this home yesterday again. A secure border, the wall, increased number of agents, and then finishing the deportation process, all of that type of thing are important. Selfishly, from my vantage point, I have a bill in this. It's the KEEP Act, no tax on overtime pay, and that the president has included that with his no tax on tips and Social Security. All of those things hit home for Americans, both short-term and long-term. And so those are the primary components I think that we're counting on. There's still some disagreements to work through, but I think we're generally unified on those major topics.
The government outspends its means. This bill would raise the debt ceiling by nearly $4 trillion. Does that concern you?
Well, the major reason for raising the debt ceiling is to provide comfort to bondholders, quite frankly. And that's something else unique about this bill. Although it's a major bill over the course of 10 years, for the first time in my political life, maybe my life, this would actually result in about a $1.6 trillion reduction in mandatory spending over the next 10 years. So this is a significant difference of this bill than anything I've been involved with in the past. It changes the trajectory of the American spending or the federal government spending. And so that's a major component. The other thing I would just mention, Marnie, is this bill is not a spending cut bill. It cuts the growth rate of spending. And it's important for people to understand that when they're concerned about things like Medicaid and other services.
What happens if we don't see a passage by Memorial Day, which appears to be the goal?
Well, the world doesn't come to an end. It's not like we're on a financial cliff here immediately. But I think what it does is it puts the House at a little bit less of an advantageous position with the Senate. We wanted to get this over to the Senate as soon as possible, and it's still possible, by the way, by Memorial Day. But if not, so what? You know, we get it through. There's not a hard timeline on this. I just think that would probably be better in terms of the House's negotiation position with the Senate, because we know whatever we do, this is going to go through another round of discussions and debates and negotiations. And so we're just trying to put ourselves in the strongest place possible.
All right, Representative Fulcher, thanks as always for your time, sir. See you next time.
Thank you.